Hey everyone, welcome to another session of BTM Math. Today we're going to be talking about square layout. So I know a lot of you are thinking, well, what does that even mean? What is it? Why do I use it? Why is it important? Square layout is important because if you're doing a wall, whether it's a masonry wall, a wood wall, if you're laying out stuff for a room, it needs to be square. And all that square means is that you have 90-degree corners. So our buildings, for the most part, unless it's specialized, should be square. And again, square just means that you have 90 degrees in your corners. And if you remember from math class, this little square in the corner indicates that it's a 90-degree corner. You may be more familiar with seeing a triangle, a right triangle that has your 90-degree corner in it. And this is how we will learn how to lay out square. So believe it or not, math that you learn in academics does come into play in BTM. So the first thing that we need to talk about is the Pythagorean theorem. So Pythagoras was a Greek mathematician, and he was able to come up with a simple equation that allows us to find what the hypotenuse is. Yeah, I know. We're going to go over it. So what this guy said way back when is that if you take the sides of a triangle, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So if we have our triangle over here, let's say this is a right triangle. If we pick this side as a, this side as b, this side c is our hypotenuse, and this will always be the longest side. So again, why does this matter in BTM? Well, again, for layout of walls of buildings and other structures that you may have to lay out. So if we have this triangle, and let's say that this side is 3, this side is 4, we need to figure out what this side is. So using the Pythagorean theorem, we know that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So if we take 3 squared plus 4 squared, that will equal our hypotenuse. So 3 squared is just 3 times 3, which is 9. To 9, we're going to add 4 squared, which is just 4 times 4. That gives us 16. And that equals c squared. 9 plus 16 equals 25. Now, to find this, we need to take the square root of both sides. The square root of 25 is 5. So c equals 5. So we no longer have to guess what this is. We know that's 5. Now the reason that I picked 3, 4, and 5 is because they're easy numbers and they always work. So if you're going to lay out and you don't know if it's square or not, you can use a 3, 4, 5 triangle to help you lay out. Not only does 3, 4, 5 work, but multiples of 3, 4, 5 work. So you can have a 6, 8, 10. 9, 12, 15, 12, 16, 20, and so on. So what would this look like in the lab? Well, let's say you need to lay out a wall, and let's say that this is an existing wall in the lab. And I tell you, you need to come away from that 10 feet and make another wall. So you can just measure 10 feet over, right? Here and here, and then go and put your wall here. But then if you have to put these return pieces in, if you're going to make a square, how do you know that these will be square? So if you start with your line, just your base, call this your baseline, and you measure over, say 10 feet here, 10 feet here. You and your partner can snap a line from this point to this point. Now that we have your chalk line snapped, let's just focus on that. And we still need to figure out how we can get a 90 here and a 90 here. So we're going to choose to do a 3, 4, 5 triangle. One of you will measure from here up. Say, put a mark on your existing chalk line at 3 feet, 0 inches. Then from the same point where you measured from there, you'll come up this way. Your cleat or the foot end of your tape will be up here, and this distance will be 4 feet, 0 inches. Now that we have this mark here, and you came off your line this way, we'll take another tape measure and run them together like that. On this line here, your tape measure will read 5 feet 0 inches. So again, your tape, 5 feet 0 inches. The foot of your tape will be up here, and the other foot of your tape will be up here. So you'll need 2 tape measures to do this. Once these two from here, again, this stays here and this part swings. This can go either way. It'll come down, and where these 2 feet meet, and this is on your 5 foot from your tape, at your 3 foot mark, when these two meet, this creates a 90-degree corner here. Now you have one. You'll have to do the same process on the other side. Measure your 3 feet. Come out with one tape here. Foot of your tape there. Hold your tape measure right here at 5 feet. Foot end comes out. When the two of those intersect, you will have your 90-degree corner here. We'll practice this more in lab, and it's just to give you an idea of what to expect.